Well, hey, good evening, folks. How are you? It's good to see you, and it's good to be seen by you. Of course, I'm Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver. Welcome to the show. And guess what? It's Wednesday. Kyle's going to be joining us here shortly, and we are going to be playing some Conflict as soon as he comes aboard and we get the rest of our crew here. But anyway, how are you? If anything is to go by from your comments on the videos and your likes and your subscriptions, you're all doing dandy, and that is awesome. I am so very, very, very happy about that. Thank you all so much for the outpouring of support. I think we're at do we have 5170 already? I feel like we're close, but I am not 100% sure. I will have to look that up real quick. But yeah, we got Jason and Bill. They're waiting in the background there, and connect. So let me see here. Let's just take a quick peek over in the studio and see what's happening. We are at any minute now 5169 on the subscription count. So that is awesome. You guys are fantastic. Thank you all so very, very much for that. I realize that tonight's a little bit of a sudden thing. I blame myself, but that's okay. But at any rate, we're going to have some fun tonight. It's going to be fun. There is one thing that's not fun that I want to bring up, and I just want to mention this in passing. Pardon me a moment. Fell over there. I just want to mention this in passing because it merits mentioning. So there's been a lot of weirdness going on with Wizards of the Coast this week, and not in a good way at all. Not for them, anyway. Their stocks have taken a hit. They've cut 1,000 employees. Longtime employee Mike Merle's got the boot. So if you're a big fan of Wizards of the Coast, this has definitely been a down week for you. But I did post a video. Was it just yesterday or was it the day before? I don't recall. I have this thing here. I can look and see. Where was it? Yeah, this was yesterday. Hasbro's financials just got worse. For some reason, YouTube has decided to demonetize that video. Now, I did click the file and appeal button, so hopefully I'll get an answer out of them as to why they did that. Now, I don't kid myself about, making some great huge fortune with what I do here on the YouTube channel. I'm not going to get rich. I'm not going to be buying myself a small island somewhere in the Fiji region or anything like that. But I do have the ability to contribute around here. So what I'm saying here, this is not doom and gloom. I'm actually coming to a point. You guys getting the word out there, you guys telling people about my channel, you guys pointing them at videos that YouTube, in the case of the Hasbro's financial just got worse, are actively suppressing, is incredibly helpful. And I thank you all. I mean, your outpouring of support this year has been just amazing. And I thank you for it. And it's like some people, some people super chat like a couple of bucks or something like that. And I wish it could be more. I see people super chat a lot. Guys, everything helps. Even if you just click the subscribe button and click the bell icon for notifications and engage. Leave a comment below on the video. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Give it a thumbs down if you don't like it. So, because it's all good, is what I'm saying. It's all good. and I appreciate your engagement wherever it is, whether you're a Patreon supporter, whether you are a YouTube member, whether you're subscribed to us, Collecting Chaos Greetings, whether you are just passing through, as long as you engage and subscribe, it's really helpful, particularly in the face of kind of arbitrary stuff like this. Now, I did, like I said, I clicked, appeal this. And they've done this to my videos before, and then they've come right back a couple of days later and they've been remonetized. The thing about the Hasbro's financials videos, it was doing gangbusters numbers. It was doing really, really, really well. And now it's just gonna get pushed down. So, yeah, thank you very much, YouTube, for suppressing it for a couple of days while it's a hot topic. But anyway, we'll leave that all in the back. And I'm going to let somebody else drive right now. I've had a busy week. So let me see. I think who do we have? Do we have? Yes, we do. This guy is an awesome guy. He's stuck around. He went from cheerleader on the sidelines to occasional guest to regular guest, and now he hosts our Wednesday night get-togethers. He is a good friend of mine. The fact that he and I can make an earth sandwich, basically he can stand out in his yard and I can stand out in my yard and put two slices of bread together, does not detract from the fact that he is a swell dude. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my co-host, the one, the only, Kyle Schuant. Kyle, how are you, brother?
G'day, boys and girls. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing as best I can under the circumstances, my friend.
So your which one got demonetized? Was it one trashing Watsy?
It was. Basically, I was talking about Hasbro's dire financial situation and the fact that they've terminated 20% of their employees, and they, despite being one of the largest toy manufacturers in the United States, and the run up to Christmas being the biggest toy and game buying part of the year, they took a beating financially. So yeah, they had to cut employees and everything's, and that of course washes over into the body politic of Wizards of the Coast. It's relevant to tabletop games as well, which is why I did the video on it. So
cutting the staff reminds me of a cartoon I saw recently. It's probably an old one where there's these guys on like a ancient Greek trireme kind of thing, with all the rowers, and then there's the top deck with the guys sitting, the guys in charge sitting on it, and the guys in charge are all sitting there, and there's like 100 rowers, and in the next panel they're sitting on it, and there's like 2 rowers left, and they're struggling along, sweating, and the guys on top are all sitting there all quite intact, and they're saying, but we cut all this extra weight from the place. Why is it going so slowly?
Yeah, I hadn't seen that one before, but that is a spot on analysis. Collecting Chaos says, doesn't YouTube realize that when you make money, they make money? Here's the thing about YouTube and their management. It literally is like Heath Ledger's Joker. It's not about the money. It's about sending a message. And if you're saying something that they don't like, if it's not of a particularly high-end amount of monetization, they'll mute you.
Well, to be fair, I mean, we know what would make a lot of money, because what makes the most money on the internet? What sort of content makes the most money on the internet? We don't need to say. That will get us demonetized as well. But we know. Yes. Now, so obviously YouTube doesn't want that. So whatever company you're running with social media or streaming or whatever, you're going to draw the line somewhere. The question is where you draw the line and what means do you use to draw that line. So I would argue that the where they've drawn the line is perhaps a bit excessive. I'm more on the libertarian side in terms of letting people say what they want, as long as it's not getting into violent threats and all the rest. And the means by which they do it is, well, it's AI, but I mean, it's probably inevitable because I can't remember what the stat was. What was it? Something like, every 5 hours there's more content created on YouTube than there was from like in film and TV from 1940 to 2000, something like that.
I can believe it.
There's some absurd amount being created, so obviously they can't manually go through and check everything. Now, in their place, I would just, rather than having AI do it, I would just wait on the reports. Because, like, if somebody's channel with like 5 subscribers has something horrifically offensive or whatever, then, if it doesn't get reported, it's because nobody watched it. And if nobody watched it, then it can't, then, it's not offensive. So it's not offensive if it sits in your drawer until your death.
Yeah. It's but I mean it's nuts. The thing that we dare not mention that is the most popular thing on the internet.
Adult content is chaos.
Adult content, yes, adult content. Twitch basically just threw in the towel and said, "Yeah, whatever, just flag it." So I would imagine.
As I've said before, I'm a believer in filters rather than actual censorship. So I think it's quite fair. I don't know if your guys' TV and that does it, but our TV here does. This film contains, and then it'll say like fantasy violence or something. Mm-hmm. It's got Shrek punching people out. This film contains fantasy violence and what they call adult themed jokes or something like that. Because there's the innuendo there that kids won't get, but adults will. So they'd probably say, fantasy violence and innuendo or something like that. So anyone who's offended by that can avoid it, and anyone who wants that can seek it out. I think that's a good approach, to have filters rather than censorship, and then parents can make those filters really strict with the stuff that their kids are watching, and you yourself can make it really strict for yourself if you just really can't bear seeing that sort of stuff, and then you can avoid that thing where they put at the end, if any issues raised in this program tonight have caused you, you can call Lifeline. It's like, maybe I just don't watch it in the first place.
Yeah. And I mean, we're pretty much the same way. You've pretty much got to stick to like the 5 broadcast channels from 10 in the morning until 9 at night to not get some content that's going to get that kind of tag put on it. Here in the States, but just to the matter of Twitch, Twitch for the longest time. And people kept asking me like, "Ooh, are you going to start streaming on Twitch again?" And I was like, maybe not. I knew not much about Twitch back 3-4 years ago. I was like, yeah, this is where people go to stream video games. No, that's no. But yeah, Twitch is now just essentially, basically, they've thrown up the white flag and said, look, just put the right tags on it, and you can just come on and do whatever. Artistic is how they ask you keep it, but there's the question that's as old as the first cave painting, but is it art? That now comes up. So we're going to wind up with I think Twitch is just basically going to just become all adult content, and that's not exactly something I wanted to leverage my brand here into. So I'll stick to tabletop role playing game stuff and have to go over and clout YouTube's bots in the head when they pull stuff like this. So,
well, I think too, there's such a thing as focusing. I mean, I find it stressful enough just having to go from like Google Chat to Messenger to Instagram to MeWe or something. It's like, do we really need to be on Facebook and YouTube? And I'm sure MeWe has got a streaming feature, and Vimeo and YouTube, and really,
yeah. So that's all the real world. I've been talking too much about real world stuff lately. So I'm gonna take my hands off the flight yoke and look over at you, Kyle, and say, your aircraft.
alrighty.
You know what, Mikey? I predict this is gonna end in some big gunfight. A lot of bloodshed. You and me stuck in the middle. As always.
Well, what are we waiting for?
All right, there's the intro. Let's bring some of the guys in then.
All right, so we've got a zany cast of gun-wielding goons joining us tonight. So let's say hello to Jason playing Stapleton.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Doing all right, my friend.
Yeah. How'd you get the budget to get the stunt work for that? That was nice.
Stunt work?
Yeah.
Well, I set up. I've got an OnlyFans, but
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're definitely. Please,
we
please.
just
By the-
roll dice.
Yeah. What would it take to get like 3 ghosts to visit Chris Cox on like Christmas Eve? Is that possible? Can we do that?
We'll see. We'll have to see. Budget's tight. End of the year. The guy you want to keep out of your medical supply cabinet. Everybody say hello to Bill T.
Hey everybody. Killer job on the intro there.
Yeah.
Did you do that yourself, Mr. Schwan?
Yeah.
That was pretty killer, man. Like the music and the way you put that together was that was pretty great, man.
He did when I fired the
half of it is stock footage and stuff, and the other half was stolen from Strike Back.
Yeet.
The little bit where the vehicle spins over, falls over, in the next 5 seconds, it actually blows up as well.
Nice. Well, good job. Good job.
There's a reason for it in the show, which is that the thing's packed with explosives and stuff, and that's why he's shooting at it, because there's all these different terrorist bombs that are supposed to go off here and there, and he's intercepting that particular one. So it actually is expected that it explodes, but when you see it in just an isolated clip, you think, oh, typical Hollywood, which it is, because there's a dirt ramp, and the dirt, of course, the vehicle goes up the dirt ramp in such a way as that it falls over, and
It's
in fact,
typical
there would be a
action
little
show
wooden
intro.
ramp.
It's good though.
It's the action show intro.
I do want to point out there is I'm keeping an eye on it, but there is a company that is they're coming up. They're offering an AI tool where you can basically do a text request and it will generate a short film for you.
That's
so
odd.
we could very well have extremely custom open credit film next year if it's in the budget. But speaking of people who are in and who are also
Everyone
Steve-
will have like 6 fingers or something. And
Yes.
That'll be great.
We'll speaking of people who stood too close to the special effects, everybody welcome Kanek.
Evening all.
Unknown
Hey.
soldier. Nice.
Yes. Unknowing soldier at this point.
Unconscious soldier is more like it.
She's back getting healed up.
Say, Kyle, I was
Alright.
going to ask, you put the setting as Pamistan in there. Are we going to have Karenstan too?
Pamistan?
It's Pamiristan. It's
Oh,
actual name.
Pamiristan. I'm sorry, misread it.
Pamiristan.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not Karenstan. Hey, the Karens are an actual people in Burma.
Are they?
Oh God, that's an
They are.
unfortunate name.
They are. Well, they had it first, so
True.
they were promised independence, their own autonomous state if they helped the British against the Japanese during World War II. And then after World War II, the British just forgot about that and wandered off, left them to it.
They
And,
must have spoken with some managers.
They
at that
wanted
point,
us. They definitely wanted to see the manager.
right?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of unfortunately named, like there's a terrorist group in the Philippines called the Moro Independence Liberation Front. And so
I just,
you
yeah,
gotta
just
feel,
shut up.
gotta feel for the young guys who go in and say, I'm here to join the MILF army. And
See, there's that adult content again.
no, it's the Moro Independence Liberation Front. I don't know what you're thinking about. But yeah, so there's these poor guys who got a rude surprise. Showed up, I think. That's not what I expected.
Yeah, they're going back to their buddies talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's we joke with it because we've got a couple of Filipino members of the gym here, and joke about it that they'd be like, "Can't we just change our names as the group?" And like, no, they have to change their name. I had it first. We had it first. So yeah, I don't know if that's helped the demise of the group. I hope so.
There is somebody sitting at a desk at YouTube that's having to review all of these appeals and requests, and Bill's guy is just sitting there like, first this one you want me to appeal this one, but then the next time you're doing this, like, come on,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, you're just talking finances. That's fine. Okay, what's the next? No,
Liberation. What? How did you get that? out of that?
no.
Look, it's probably inevitable with any kind of role-playing game because gamers come up with all sorts of violence and nudity, and anyway, it is now. So it's probably inevitable. Anyone streaming the games, unless you're those Critical Role bastards, but it's.
Oh, they have plenty of nudity on their show.
Tell her I'm streaming. I can't answer and find out what she needs. My mom is calling me right now. She's going to call you next. And when
Just
It doesn't matter if you're an explosive expert in a hot zone. Your mom will still worry about you.
Alrighty. So
Mom, I'll
we've got
call
the
you. I'll call you when
characters
I'm done cutting the yellow wire.
here.
She's-
Wrong way. Alrighty. So the first character up we've got is Safi's character, but she is not in. So Safi, you'll get a replacement. You'll see shortly. Tell us what happened to your character in the last session, Safi. If you're with us, if you're not talking to your mum.
Safi, are you there?
fucking thing, my goddamn mom.
This
I'll
just gets
just let her
better and
rest.
better.
Next.
I'm just imagining.
She's experts with
Small Wada
F-bombs,
sitting
too.
out there in the wilderness, in the mountains, on a sat phone, while she's like Bill T said. Now, is it the yellow wire or the green wire? Hang on.
Mom, not now.
Sorry. I thought I was muted.
You weren't. You sure
Sorry.
weren't.
Sorry.
Tell us what happened to your character in the last session.
Well, my character was in the wrong place at the wrong time and took a headshot. and now she's recovering. She did get medical help in time, but it's going to take her 2.5 months to recover. So, she rolled 10 weeks.
Yeah, there's a reason she's got that undercut in the photo, because that's the hair growing back after shaving after her surgery. All right, Warren Brown, tell us about yourself.
Warren Brown is he is a bon vivant, a man who has traveled back and forth across this wild world of rich cultures and interesting people, and has called in drone strikes on more of them than he would care to remember. Warren is a multi-year Army veteran who rotated out, spent a year spending money, and then realized he needed more. And then Uncle Sam said, I think we have common problems we can both help each other solve. So he finds himself once again in charge of a merry bunch of misfits on the opposite side of the planet that has conveniences like Apple stores and Starbucks.
Very good. Stapleton.
Stapleton is an Army vet, spent about 3 years in, well, kind of like the same area he's in now. So he's actually good at surviving and running around this territory. He dropped out of college. He was in police for a while. He likes his drink. He likes his women. And occasionally he likes pulling his comrades out of the fire.
McPherson, tell us about yourself.
I'm Daniel McPherson. I'm the physician of the crew here. I was injured in a training accident, and I found myself looking for further employment after that. So I ended up taking a contract with the PMC and raiding medicine cabinets for a living.
All right, Rashan Stone, his player is not here. So Doomsword, I like the guy, but he keeps not showing up, so he can be the Polish mine detector. Alrighty. All right, Safi, your new character. I was going to roll up a new one, but I thought, no, her playstyle would probably should probably employ Warren Brown.
Oh.
Sorry, Stu Bennett.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
Oh, God.
Now I seriously get to kick some butt.
Stu Bennett is a thug, basically. He intimidates people. He punches them in the head. He lifts weights.
Cool.
And in his previous military career, he got a medical discharge after a head injury. And his motto was, if brute force doesn't work, use more.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's so you take a little screen cap or something of that, Safi, so you can...
Yep,
so you
I've
can
got it. I actually printed out the thing, so I've got all the stats.
Oh, dedication.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Right off my phone. Hooked up right to our printer. Works out well.
Alrighty. All right. So here we go. All right. Give us an overview of what happened in the last session, Bill S.
Last session, we basically we rolled in hot on a suspected smuggling point. The border guards were crooked, and we sat around in the open like we were waiting for a tour bus to come by, and we rightly got pranged pretty hard by the bad guys. Took some casualties, no KIA on our part. I think, did the National Police suffer any KIA?
Yeah. They lost one guy.
Yeah.
And they had another
Um,
couple of guys wounded, but they were just minor wounds. And like 2 of you had minor wounds, but have recovered by now.
but to their
Uh,
credit, the National Police, they were able to pull our bacon out of the fire, and it was greatly
well,
appreciated.
once you told them what to do, when
Yes.
you were just, they didn't do anything until you told them what to do.
Well, still. So we managed to get out of there without getting wrecked any worse than we did. Safi's original character, Sirmawada, took an AK round to the head, but it was mild enough that she didn't end up expiring on the spot. And we were able to egress, having learned nothing more than, well, there's a bunch of bad guys up there on that particular day. So,
Well, you learned that they're a bit more well organized than you originally gave them credit for, because they had a drone team and a sniper RPG team on separate
and
ridges.
so
They appeared to be communicating and working together and stuff.
yes, in the following week, we spent a while trying to sort out exactly how much better organized they've gotten. So it was an intel gathering episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So you spent some time recovering from your injuries and saying goodbye to Samawata as she got flown off to a hospital in Germany to get some proper treatment and all the rest. And thinking, oh, now you're just down to having Stu Bennett help you out. Ration Stone, he gets delegated to headquarters duty, so you're officially in charge now, Brown. Sorry, just looking at the comments. Yeah, all right. So you've talked to Lang, you've done the debrief on what happened and so on. It's 2 weeks later. As I said, the time in the game is the time that it is today, so 13th of December, 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So again, big long building, PMC wing, Private Military Corporation wing, which is where you guys are, and the Das Kapital Police, which is on the other side. So this time you've got no prisoners or anything to interrogate. You've got no fresh prisoners or intel that you guys have gathered, but you have confirmed that that pass is important. They wouldn't have bothered setting up people to shoot at you if that control of that pass wasn't important to them. So
Yep.
Yeah. So you've confirmed that. All right. So one of the intel people, she comes along and says to you that they've got a couple of tips from the locals and listening to the occasional radio scuttlebutt. So the actual insurgents, the Squad of Righteous Fury, they pretty religiously stay off the phones and phones and radios because they don't want to be intercepted by you guys. They learned that after the first year or two of the insurgency. However, their families and so on do not always do so, and their friends and their neighbours and all the rest. So occasionally reports come in and you get bits and pieces. Intelligence work is a bit like, the parable of the blind men and the elephant. One guy touches the leg and thinks it's a tree trunk, another touches the tail and thinks it's a rope and all that. And they can't make sense of it unless they talk to each other and they put it together. So a lot of intel or police work is like that, putting the different random facts together. And this is what these guys have come up with. So they've said that they believe that there's a shipment of the shoulder launch missiles that's going to come through that same pass that you got shot up at 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be coming through that pass at 0300 tomorrow morning. And its destination is a little village, which is to the north of Das Kapital, about 150 kilometers away. That pass is about 250 kilometers away from Das Kapital. And the village is about 100. So the village is about midway. It's up in the mountains still, like everywhere here. But the village is about midway. So you've got that. And there's also believed to be a meeting of not top level, but mid-level leaders going on in a village that's about 10, 12 kilometers outside Das Kapital, but at the same time.
Yeah.
These mid-level guys are apparently going to meet together to discuss strategy, whether they're coming up with their own strategy or they're passing on the strategy from the top level guys. Because nobody even knows who's in charge of this insurgency or if there's anyone in charge.
One of their moms probably called them.
Yeah.
No, the moms are in another part of the world. But anyway.
So here's a question.
Yep.
Since it seems like there's two things happening at once, should we split up, or are we just going to prioritize one?
No, we're going to prioritize. We're absolutely positively not splitting.
Oh, you don't want to split the party?
No.
No.
No, we don't.
I'm going to have to insist that we don't, actually.
So do we want to find out who's running the show, or do we want to just get rid of some weapons?
Well, I think at this point, pulling their teeth out, let's think about this one step at a time. I think we've got to stop the missiles. I think we've got to stop the missiles because someone will know where these things were supposed to go. We can follow a trail, as it were, from that point. If the missiles get distributed around to various groups, they've still got the entire region by the short curly ones. So let's stop the missiles, or at least try to, and see what information we can extract from them. And then we'll go ahead.
If we take out the missiles, we do stop one threat, but we could potentially target somebody higher up and mess up far more shipments of missiles than just a single one.
Yeah, the thing with that is finding out who's hires up may take a while longer, and by that time the missiles could get distributed and do harm already.
That's my point, and that's my decision is we're going to break up the missile shipment if we can.
Well, the intel officer who gave you this information, she's listening in, Roxanne McKee, and McKee, Lieutenant McKee, she says, well, counterpoint, those mid-level guys might be meeting with whoever is supplying them. And those mid-level guys decide where those things all go. I mean, shoulder-launched missile is no different to any other firearm. If it's just lying around, it can't harm anyone. But
if it's
somebody who has ill intent can still do it, with a knife or whatever. So if you get the mid-level guys, maybe you stop any more missiles at all coming through.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say too. I mean, couldn't we kill two birds with one stone while still being together? Couldn't we mine the road or something?
I don't want to go laying a bunch of mines. I mean, it's a UN relief truck is indistinguishable from a busload of insurgents to a Mon 28 landmine.
Just trying to come up with some out of the box ideas. That's all.
All right. I'll look at her. I'll look at her. Well, if you've got some,
And you think like, maybe she just wants more people to interrogate, but because you can't interrogate a missile,
yeah.
Hey,
Well-
Stapleton's single. I mean, if you're lonely, I'll look over at her and say,
Roxanne.
If you're,
she gives you a dirty look. It's like, do you know how many people make that joke?
Yeah, I do. Believe me, I understand. My last name is Weaver, so I got Dreamweaver all through freaking high school.
if you have some special insight on roping in these mid-level guys, if there's something you can lend to that, because the missiles are coming through the pass. I know where they're going to be. They're going to be lying in boxes inertly. The thing about it is, I mean, these people we're talking about, they could be down at the hookah bar 25 meters outside the gate right now having their to-do. All right?
Well, we know that they're going to meet at the same time as the rockets are crossing the border. They're meeting at 0300 at this village, Abu Kashir. And we know that they're going to meet very probably at this particular compound. And if they're not at that compound, if they're somewhere else, well, we'll be able to tell by the armed guys standing around.
Yeah.
Because they're not
talk about a conundrum.
Welcome to warfare.
What does state want?
State wants to win. It's up to you how you do it.
That's wonderful. That's great. That's State Department.
It's a very good bureaucratic answer.
Well, you wanted command, Bill S.
Says who?
The guy who hasn't shown up for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You got voluntold, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
right. Well, then if we're going to the compound, you're going to get a shopping list from me.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to see what's available at the store, but yeah.
All right. I want three armored Humvees and crews. One with a 40 Mike, two with 50 cals.
Who's going to be the crew?
The Jarheads.
They just
Look,
look
you
after
got to
the
give me
airfield.
some backup here. I'm not
look after the airfield
grinder again.
Throw some extra knives in there too.
I can sign a piece of paper and be on a C-130 this time tomorrow. You've got to have
Lang
facts.
pokes his head in the room and says, "No, you can't," and then goes back to his work.
I swear to God.
The Jarheads are the Jarheads. She explains they're there to defend the airfield and as a quick reaction force for immediately around the airfield and for the green zone here in the green zone. They are not an active
What
force.
the hell are we supposed to use? Harsh language?
Well, there's the Das Kapital police, and you could borrow vehicles and stuff.
Of course.
Our
There's
very
a
well
reason that
trained
you're getting paid
policemen.
the big bucks.
What about drones? You got any of those?
Well, she said drones, it just depends on the availability at the time. However, the drones tend to be floating around Das Kapital. So one advantage of going closer in is that you're more likely to get access to drones. Remember, they're just surveillance. There's no Hellfire missiles raining down.
Oh, then at least we get a good look what we're going into before we die.
Yeah.
Probably going to want some night vision at least.
Yeah, you can get NVGs. You can get nods.
Great drones and NVGs. We'll have a lovely view of the people who are going to be mowing us down.
Hey, I just got a quick question for you, Mrs. What was your name again?
McKee.
McKee,
Lieutenant
Mrs.
McKee.
McKee. Yeah, I was just wondering, do they ever confiscate any of these, Russian weapons that, and where are they deposited?
Well, there's shitloads of them, she says, because this is an ex-Soviet country.
Oh, okay,
No, the thing is, they're
So-
getting stuff from North Korea.
right.
Yeah,
I'm-
the enemy's getting stuff from North Korea and Russia. But
I'm just wondering, if they've got any, portable mortar tubes with flare rounds. Give them a little light show, bedazzle them a little bit. Maybe a really good distraction.
yeah, if you really want to take mortars and stick them on the back of a truck, you can.
Well, some of them are small enough you can, two-man team, right?
Yeah, look, basically, I mean, you guys can have like a T-72 tank if you want, but you got to be able to drive it and fire it and crew it and all the rest.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to scare them away either.
Great. So let's get some slingshots and M80s. I think that'll just work fine.
I think I'm with Stapleton on that one.
That was sarcasm.
Oh, must be all that migraine medicine I've been taking lately. I haven't felt the same since I started that regimen.
I look at him like, please tell me you're being sarcastic.
He's not.
Oh,
Okay, so
God.
you've got a village, right? And there's a small river running through it. The river will be at this time of year, because it's winter, it'll be a bit lower. There'll be chunks of ice in it and stuff. It'll be a meter or two deep, but you don't want to really get wet in it. You'll survive the trip, but you might get hypothermia afterwards. But yeah, there's a river running through it. There are 10. So you get individual dwellings, right? But you also get compounds, and the compounds tend to be family ones. So they've got bricks and everything, and they've got clay, and they've got render over it and all the rest. And it's a sort of a walled thing with a whole complex of rooms inside it, and usually a central courtyard as well. So the compounds tend to be the more well-off people, and then there's one or two families and 2 or 3 generations living in there quite often. And then there are a bunch of individual dwellings as well. So on the west side of the river is about 10 individual compounds and 20 or 30 dwellings. And on the east side of the river is just 2 compounds and then a whole stack of dwellings. It's just the way the land lies. It's a bit flatter on the west side of the river where you're going in. The compounds are not super close to each other. They don't build them up wall to wall. They will usually have 10 meters or so in between them, because they'll have a few like goats or something like that tethered around, or they'll have maybe an olive grove or something like that, or nut trees and that sort of thing. They'll have them planted around the place. The roads in the area are dirt roads, and also scattered here and there will be shops, but the shops tend to be attached to compounds, and they're just basically there's a little shade cloth that comes out from the side of the compound, and somebody sets up a little table there and has his stuff, and then takes it away in a cart at the end of the day. That's their shop at this village of Abu Kashir. And the particular one that you're almost certain is where the meeting of these 5 guys will be, and is to the north of the village. It's almost the most northerly compound. The compound as a whole is the village as a whole is fairly spread out, but it's 12 to 13 and a half kilometers away.
Here's a question for you, Warren. You think we're gonna take one of these guys, or do we try and send somebody in with a bug to just plant there prior to them showing up, or what are you thinking we're gonna make of this?
Got long range mics.
Yeah, what about parabolic mics? Can we get those?
Roll 2d6 if you get 10 plus. You get it. It hasn't really been
Ooh.
useful out here.
No, I did not.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
maybe.
just don't happen to have one. It's not
Do we
very
have the
nice.
ability to drop a little mic in using a drone from up above?
Yeah,
Or you could just, I don't know, persuade some kid to run near the house with it, stick it in a windowsill. Give them a new soccer ball or something. Kids are pretty easy to deal with. You just got to make sure it's worth their while.
Yeah, but kids also talk.
Yeah.
yeah.
Does Rashawn have any kids? Or not Rashawn, but oh man, the chief of police?
Yeah, but he's not going to send his kids in there.
Yeah, no,
You don't
I'm
have
not.
to ask him. You know
not,
that.
No, he's not going to send his kids in there.
One of his kids is a Swiss boarding school, and the other one is at home with him in Das Kapital.
Okay. We can't give the kid crayons because the Marines will get mad.
Oh yeah, you can't take their food supplies away from them. They'll starve.
They have strong food aggression.
I mean, I'm sure we could find some kids somewhere nearby, though. Like I said, all we got to do is buy them a brand new soccer ball. They'll be happy about it, and they're
We're
just
not using children. Let's just get that out of the way. We're not using children.
Well, it's not like we're sending them into danger. We're just having them go by a windowsill to put a microphone there.
We are not using.
And you're the medic.
And he's the medic. Yeah.
You guys are reminding me. I started reading this Chris Ryan book, and he's talking about the SAS, and like it's the classic. The guy gets called back to service, and there are so many things in it that if I'd read 10 years ago, I would think this is unrealistic. They're being too unprofessional and dodgy. It can't be possible, because they do things like, we're calling you back even though you've only just been rotated out, and we know everyone's fatigued, is getting burned out, and they might end up doing something dodgy because they're too fatigued because they haven't had enough downtime between missions. We're just going to keep rotating you through. And I thought, that's so unprofessional. That's so stupid. It's dangerous. Yeah, but they really did that with the Australian SAS, so I'm sure they did that with the UK one as well. Mm-hmm. And the other one was, we got intel on these guys. We know who they are, so we take them out. Sometimes they're not armed, but that's all right. We just, we do a throwdown, we put a weapon with them, and they take a photo, and it keeps the lawyers and the public happy. And that's a war crime. They wouldn't do that. No, they really did. And then, we're going to put you with this guy you hate, and he hates you, and we're just going to tell you to work as a team whether you like it or not, even though there are a whole bunch of other teams that you could go to instead, and that would just be more intelligent and productive. No, they really did that. So it was written in 2018. So even though the guy's been out of the SAS for at least 20 years, he's obviously still in touch with guys, or it's always been that way. So, yeah, the things I'm throwing at you, I'm sorry, but they're real things that really happen. And it's entirely your decision whether or not you... I'm not going to, have a child run in front of your machine gun while you're firing at a compound, right? Even though these things happen in real life, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to push them at front of you, confront you with the horrible reality. But if you want to do that, if you want to use children to deliver bugs and all the rest, well, okay. So it's always up to you, the players. I'm not going to push the players into a horrible place and give you the dilemma, do you want to murder this child or that child? No, I'm not going to do that.
And with that, we're demonetized.
With the we were already. I'm not going to have an 8-year-old walk up to you with a AK-47. I'm not going to do that to you. That's horrible. I don't believe in that gene. Or the old D&D thing. There's the kobold babies. Do you wipe out the kobold babies? No. No.
All right. Regardless, in character, I mean, obviously,
we're not doing kids.
We're not.
No.
We're
Well,
not.
we could always do as the Romans do, you know, and we could try and I guess masquerade ourselves nearby to listen in. That's another option. Because it seems like none of us really want to go after these guys alive, or
Yeah, we're
to
gonna
take them
blend in
alive.
so well.
Yeah.
Well, it will
Well-
be 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, assuming you go at the time that they're meeting. If you go during the day, that's different. But in the middle of the night, you're just a dark figure, except that most of you will be somewhat physically larger figures than the locals because you're big, well-fed Westerners rather than being small, poorly fed.
At least this time we're not going to go walk up and say, "Hey, is this Russian guy coming here?"
Right? Yeah, exactly.
We learned from last time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just build a great
chaos. That comment
a
is
giant
gold.
horse.
Then Arthur, Lancelot, and myself will climb out of the giant rabbit.
Oh, well, if we build a large wooden badger,
A large wooden badger.
badger lavage.
All right. Do the our partners in the global war on terror, the Frankistanian National Police, are they? Do they have night vision?
No, the regular cops don't have night vision. There is a special
Okay.
operations team, like a SWAT team. And remember, there's also the Frankistani National Defense Force guys
Okay.
as well.
All right. I'm gonna go talk to the colonel and see if he is willing to loan us the SWAT team. I think basically we're gonna have to go full assault on Precinct 13 on this meeting. I just this is this is a no-win scenario, but I think the only alternative we've got at this point, since this seems to be the way, is to just surround them, cut them off from egress, and move in on them. So I will go talk to my buddy, whom I would point out to the game master. I bought a full liter bottle of Johnny Walker Blue.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Charles likes you, and he's a fierce patriot, and he absolutely loathes the Squad of Righteous Fury, and he loathes anyone who wants to take over his country. So he doesn't like the foreigners very much, but he knows that if he can make the insurgents, if he can crush the insurgents, that you guys will eventually go away. Whereas if the insurgents take over, then there's always going to be Russians around. It's like I've got a Hungarian friend who said, my country has a choice between having being ruled by Russian troops or Belgian bureaucrats. It's just geography.
Yeah.
And Shah says the same thing, basically. He said, we can have the Russian army, or we can have the Russian army, or we can have your guys, bankers and bureaucrats. Your guys are less offensive.
Yeah.
Not as much of a pain. So yeah, he can lend you a section. It's called the Das Kapital Police Prevention Bureau. The Prevention Bureau is their SWAT team.
Wonderful. I'm not being Colonel Shaw. I'm not being a smart aleck. Do you want sideline tickets on this?
He said, "No, I don't need to go out. I don't need to go out with it. I don't want to. There would be two confused chains of command, because if I'm out there, the guys will be listening to me instead of listening to you.
All right. I just didn't want you to think.
I don't want to, like, if there's two senior guys there, then there's too much second guessing and it slows things down. So either we take care of it without you, or you go and do it. You can take the DKP prevention guys. They go in an armored vehicle, have a Bushmaster or something they got from Australia. I don't know why Australia sent us anything, but anyway, we've got like 2 of them, and they can pile in the back of that. There's a 30 caliber machine gun top. It's armored. It should be good for anything except some of the penetrator IEDs. And if you want, if you want to go in the second one, that's fine. Or if you want to take another one of the vehicles, that's fine. We got a tank as well. We can take T-72. Do any of you guys know how to drive and fire one of those things?
Don't. Sorry.
Oh, it's got an automatic loader. It might take your arm off, but
I know how to drive.
Not a tank.
Anyway, so yeah, I will. The only reason I brought up you being there for the big show, look, I don't want you to think that I'm just looking for cannon fodder out of your men. All right, they're some of the fiercest warriors in the world are from this region, and I don't regard them as disposable or just shields.
he says, well, most of them aren't that fierce a warrior, and I mean that's why the insurgents have been able to cause so much trouble. So a fiercer warrior, those would have been crushed quickly. Most of them are peaceable people, so that's why we've got so much trouble.
Well,
if more of them were like me, then
Regardless, sir, I just want you to understand we're not looking to use them as to use them as cannon fodder.
No, they won't. That's why they carry those shields.
All right. Well, all right. If we could talk to the unit commander, and I'll get my people, and we'll all get together in a room, and we'll look at some maps.
Yep.
Singing Kumbaya.
Just a thought. Couldn't we send the police to just be at that road to take care of the missiles? If he's offering even more support?
It's too tough of a nut.
Yeah.
Well,
How much support are we getting?
It's quite open ground in that. So, you'd be looking at a firefight, most likely.
How much support are we getting? I mean, how large is this unit?
It's what you see in the picture. It's 7 men, one of whom is a demolitions guy, and one of whom is a commander.
That's pretty good,
right.
Especially if they're well trained.
It's as good as it's going.
So basically, the conscript level is readiness 0. They'll do what they're told. If they've got a good leader, that pumps them up to readiness 1. Like reserves and stuff are readiness 1 usually, and then regular armies are readiness 2, and then special forces readiness 3, and then in the third world it's all kind of dropped a level. So even the regular army is usually readiness 0, and so the special forces will be 1 or 2.
Okay.
All right. So we'll look at the compound. Basically, what I want to do is we'll come in one way, and your unit is expert at breaching buildings like this. I'm guessing we don't have a layout of the inside of the building.
No, because these buildings are not. There's not like a building department in this country that there's not building inspectors. People just put it up wherever.
Right.
You talk to anyone who's been in this part of the world, and you say that you find that there's a really random assortment of rooms and doorways, and that it's not laid out in what to us in the West would be a logical fashion. With here's the master bedroom, and here's the ensuite, and here's the corridor that goes between them and stuff. No, it's just like, what? Somebody's just like, we need an extra room here. Let's build it on.
Yeah. All right. So basically, we're going to come. We're going to be coming in from the east. You guys are going to be coming in from the west. You know how to breach. So we'll make them think it's a light group coming at them from the front, and you will crush them from the rear. And I'm guessing I'm working through an interpreter here. Are these guys bilingual?
So the guy in charge of them speaks English.
Okay.
And a couple of the others speak Russian.
Okay.
I can translate to Russian for the other guys.
So presumably we're the only people who are going to be wearing, who are going to be going in full kit. So we'll know not to shoot each other.
It's manwich time.
Nice.
Okay, Stu.
All right, get some rest. And I'll tell Roxanne that we'll want that drone basically just to be on station. I want to, like, literally seconds before we jump off. I'll want that. I'll want a last look at that place from the air before we go in.
All right.
And
so the guy in charge of the Prevention Bureau team is a guy called Nuruddin Saeed. Yeah. So is there any way I can paste this? I'll probably post it in the private chat. Should work.
Oh, collecting chaos! How I absolutely wish we could do that. Call for fire from a battleship and erase the entire grid. Just 5 minutes of an AC-130 on station, Kyle. That's all I ask.
Well, you
I
can
say
get
we take off and nuke the site from orbit. That's the only way to be sure.
You can call in the hip and get them to brass the place up with the machine gun.
You had a lot of fun coming up with Nuruddin's name, didn't you, Kyle?
No, I just copied and pasted from another site. It's actually part of the cabinet of the real world of Tajikistan.
Oh, okay. So
I don't think that whole thing is his name. Because it's like Demolitions is the next guy, Marksman is the next guy, and then Grunt. Yeah. That's not his whole name. That would be really hard to pronounce all that.
No, so the sergeant is Nuruddin Saad. The Dems guy is Mali Uzman Zoda. The marksman is Faizuddin Kohoda. The breach guy, the guy smacks in the door, is Sorodin Moridin. And there's a grunt called Nasim Olimsova, a grunt called Zorbidin Fayul Zoda, and a grunt called Ramazan Rahimov. These are the names are actually names of cabinet ministers from Tajikistan.
They're SWAT
they're genuine Tajik names.
We hired a SWAT team full of politicians. Who knew?
Finally, they go and do the fighting themselves.
Right.
We'll just assume it's their sons. There we go.
Right.
I'm going to take a marker and I'm going to put numbers on their helmets and I'm going to say, you're 1, you're 2, you're 3.
They've already got numbers on them. They've got call signs. They've got little radios in their helmets and they've got call signs. And they do actually have numbers on their helmets. So, because you see, when they do breaches, they got their hands on their shoulders and that.
There we go. That's what I'm doing. I'm referring to them by number.
Yeah, you can have the hip come in and brass the place up with a machine gun if you want. So, what are you going to try to do? Are you trying to capture or kill? And are you worried about collateral damage?
The only collateral damage is blue on blue, because we're moving into this place, and I mean, there might be wives and children present. Try not to shoot any of them. But as far as the rest of these guys go, if we can snag 1 or 2 of them, that's great. If they want to if they want to try us, paperwork talks as readily as an open mouth. So to my team, when we move across the front yard towards the front, because they're going to be the SWAT is going to be moving in from the back, we're going to make a hell of a lot of noise because I want them focused on us. The SWAT team crashes into them. The house cat is innocent.
Cats are never innocent. Ever. Man, Sumer Wada's going to be so disappointed she missed this.
Yeah. Don't worry, I got her an Etch a Sketch. I told her it was drone controls.
So we're so it's the Mohawk move, huh?
So how are you guys gearing up as individuals or as a team?
I'm thinking if we're going to
M4
be making a lot of noise, grenades would be a must.
Yeah. Grenades.
Yeah, but what kind of grenades? Are you talking about flashbangs, smoke grenades, white fragmentation grenades, white phosphorus?
Everything.
We'll start with
We
the
need
flash-
You hear
options.
this distant voice from a German hospital. Everything.
the
start with-
loadout
Strap
we
a
went
claymore to your forehead.
the loadout we went with when we hit the mountain base is just fine. One smoke, one is two
so
smoke, a flashbang, and a frag.
Two smash, two smoke, two flashbangs, two frag seeds.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm gonna bring the M240. That's what I know.
Who's carrying? Oh, you're carrying it. Yep.
Yeah. Everybody else, battle rifles and sidearms.
You don't normally use an M240 if you're doing a house breach, but anyway, it's a bit unwieldy.
It's
That's why those guys have mostly got shorter weapons.
It's a special evening.
Some extra knives, some brass knuckles. All
Sure.
important.
Heavier boots.
Stu's just going to hit them with a truncheon.
Just going to step on them. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
240 pounds in GP boots.
They're steel reinforced.
Yep.
Oh, that sounds good.
So
What vehicles are you taking?
the national animal of Frankistan, a Toyota Hilux.
Okay. Well, the Prevention Bureau guys are going to take their Bushmaster.
All right. Well, I mean, I asked about Humvees. We can't have those. So, whatever,
It's available.
whatever we can roll
You
up
can have
in.
Humvees, you just can't have the Marines that are normally attached to them.
Okay.
All right. So, what do we need?
There's
Two
a
of them?
couple of Humvees lying around, but they're not as well armored as these two Bushmasters are, because they're the older Humvees that have just been handed down to the Frankistani guys.
Still work for our purposes, right?
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
too bad if there's an IED or RPG, but
Hey,
One
hope
out of
nobody
three
minded
odds
the
we get
road.
hit by
yeah.
one.
So the DKP guys are taking well armored, mine resistant Bushmaster. There's one more of those. There's also Humvees, and like I said, even a T-72 if you want. What are you going to take? What's the decision? Or are you going
Sounds
to walk?
like the third
Only 12 and a
Bushmaster.
half Ks.
I mean, if
It's
they got
only 12 and a half Ks. You can walk if you want.
they got another Bushmaster, I think that's what we should do.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you take the second
Right.
Bushmaster.
That's
All
fine.
right. So there's an M240. Apart from that, just personal weapons like M4s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm
All
still
right.
trying to get out over Bill's drone joke with the Etch a Sketch. Oh my god, that was gold.
Alrighty. Oh, what's going on here? Okay. Alrighty. Let's remove them. And I'll present another one instead. Alrighty. So, how far away from the compound are you going to get out of your vehicles? Bearing in mind that the turrets on them will not be able to provide you support if you're like 1 kilometer away or something. And
100
and are you going to leave anyone with the vehicles?
As soon as we stop, I jump out and I start
Mhm.
covering.
We'll stop maybe 100 meters away as far as who stays with the vehicle. I'm sorry, Kyle. What weapon of these things got mounted?
30 cal.
A 30 cal. I'm lugging the 240. The 30 cal. If we have to fall back to the vehicle, we'll use the 30 for any encouragement to stop pursuers coming at us. But if we have to run back to the vehicle and we're being chased, things have gone so far south, it might roll up new character time anyway. So,
Okay. Now, do you approach with the tactical lights? So, there's 3 basic things. You can go with the lights going on. You can go with the lights sort of dipped so that you just see about 5 or 10 meters ahead of you on the road, but the vehicle's not so likely to be seen when it's a kilometer away on flat ground and that. Or you can just go entirely with the lights off and driving along with the NVGs going.
Lights off, NVGs.
Okay. The sound will still be heard because it's open ground, but they won't necessarily be able to distinguish the exact direction. Like you hear it a kilometer away, and it could be from down the road, it could be up the road, whatever. Especially in the middle of the night where you're not necessarily up and paying attention. Any guards might be up and paying attention, but any other locals not necessarily. Okay, so you approach the compound. You get off. With the nods, you see a couple of armed guys standing outside one compound, and it is indeed the target compound. So the road is on the, let's just say, southern side, the bottom side of the map there, and that's just doors. So there's a door on the southern side of the compound, door on the northern side of the compound, and these are normal doors as the locals go. Thick chunks of wood. The walls are fairly thick. They'll stop anything short of an RPG, and they don't have windows on them because it's an actual wall. It goes like 8 feet up, and then there's just like little bits of tiling on it so any rain will come off and not rot the wall.
Okay.
So you approach that, and there's a couple of guys standing on the southern side. If there's anyone standing on the northern side, you can't see them.
All right.
A couple of guys with long arms.
Okay. I'll motion our team to drop down. I'll set up the bipod when we're about 50 meters away, and our go signal will basically be us lighting these guys up from the front and charging at them.
Yeah.
One last peek from the drone, Kyle.
Someone make a observation check. Observation tactical.
Okay, I got a +1 for that, so let me try it.
That's you.
I also have a familiarity with it.
What time were you? It's tactical. You've got to shoot.
3:15. 3:15 in the AM.
Okay. I got an 11.
Okay, so if you've arrived 3:15, so if you arrived after, you will see that there is already a vehicle outside. Okay, and it looks like a normal passenger vehicle, and that's just parked. Where am I? Don't need that anymore. Close that. So that is parked. Yeah.
Oh, it's a bus.
Hold fire, guys. This is the Partridge Family. Come on, get happy.
B.
No, open up.
Maybe it's a greyhound.
All right. So there's a vehicle just parked there, and it has Cyrillic number plates.
Oh,
Cool.
Well, that's cool.
I can count those.
All the P's and the R's are backwards.
Yep. There's a vehicle there. All right. So you see two guys standing outside there, and then inside the vehicle, on the driver's side, you see just the little light of a lit cigarette.
Oh, cool. He can be the first target. Is it is it go time?
Well, I don't know. Where are you sending the DKP guys?
The DKP guys are coming into the rear of the house. We're coming into the front of the house.
Okay. And so what is it? You want them to... You want things to get noisy?
We want to get noisy as we come in, and them to move tactically, quietly into the rear, and basically surprise them when they think they're being front assaulted, because they won't be looking behind them. I hope.
Wow. So who do you want to go first, the rear or the front? Saeed's team or yours?
We'll go first with the sound of our long arms being basically the signal, and then they'll jump off, say 3 minutes after that.
Okay. So you're 100 meters away. You can open up now if you wish, or you can approach closely to try to get better shots. But of course, the closer you approach, the less likely you are to achieve surprise.
Okay, I'm going to do careful aim a couple of times, and then Cigarette Man is about to find out why smoking is hazardous to his health.
Nice. Nice.
Is anyone else, is anyone going for the other two guys?
Where are they in relation to the car?
They're
Are they just in
standing
front of the
essentially
door?
In front of the car, yeah, between the door and the car, essentially.
All right. So I'm going to have my weapon out, and when we start firing,
You're trying to.
I'm going to start racing towards the car. Yeah, and I'm gonna try to basically mow them down.
Oh, okay. You're gonna charge in to melee.
Oh, Stu.
McPherson's gonna watch him as he runs past and look over at Stapleton and go, "It's the Waffle House incident all over again, man."
It is. It's Waffle House.
You do actually have an M4 there, Bennett.
Cool.
Great.
We're gonna make it nice and loud.
Fully loaded, it makes 11. It weighs 11 kilograms. They make fine clubs. All right.
All right.
All right. So 2 careful aims is plus. Is it +1
All
or
right.
plus?
Roll for surprise.
I got a 2.
2. So you don't have any stealth or anything. Vehicle. But you've got your readiness. Your readiness is 2, so it becomes 4. Okay, but yeah, they're just standing around, not expecting trouble. Okay, so you got 1 round of surprise.
Okay.
You got action. Yeah, so you can shoot and then you can do another action after shooting.
Okay, but
All
I
right.
am.
So they're just under 100 meters away. So that's a -4 to hit. You're not under fire, so not under fire is +1. You got familiarity, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What have you got? You've got your machine gun.
Yeah.
You got familiarity, so that's +2.
And again, I careful aim.
Yeah, careful aim. Yeah, it's a machine gun. But you could support the machine gun with its bipod on the vehicle rather than just trying to fire it from your shoulder.
Okay.
That'll give you +1, another
All right.
+1. So that becomes 3. And then auto fire makes it +4, and then some aiming makes it to another 2 rounds of aiming makes it to +6. And then you're 100 meters away, so that's so altogether. There's 9. So yeah, you need 10 plus to hit.
Uh-huh.
But even if you don't hit him, you might hit his mate standing next to him.
And I'm fine with that.
Yep.
And that is.
But yeah, you'll have you'll get a stoppage on 4 or less.
Okay, that's not a problem. My dice are hot. That was a 10.
Okay. All right. So, all right, and because it's auto fire, you also get a shot at the guy standing next to him.
All right.
He's standing in the beaten zone, as we call it.
Less fortunately, I only got a 6 there.
Sorry, I got my toys.
Okay, the first one. All right. So this first poor guy, make your 2-hit roll. Wounding roll. D6
I got him with a 3-3.
3-3. Okay, so he gets a minor wound in his right arm.
Okay.
He drops his cigarette.
As well he should. It's a filthy habit.
And all of those guys will be suppressed. So those 3 guys will be lose 1 to their readiness. So they drop down. One of the ones standing next to the door. So the one behind the vehicle you think they'll probably all drop down. You've still got another round after that. You have another go. So 10 plus again.
All right.
I think McPherson's gonna survey the rest of the surroundings while our fearless leader is hammering away with his 240.
You don't see anyone around. You just see like goats.
How quickly am I at that? How quickly is
okay.
Stu at the vehicle? Because he's booking.
Yeah,
How quickly does Stu get to the vehicle? Because he is booking.
Not sooner than my bullets do, Kyle. I got an 11 actually.
Yeah. So, all right, roll for the wound again.
1-5.
1-5. Okay. Okay. So you strike him in the head, and he'll fall over.
Dap.
He'll fall over. You no longer see his silhouette in the vehicle. He'll fall over. And the guy right next to him as well.
He gets splattered.
That again was a 6.
Okay. Well, you're not so lucky with the guy against him. Okay, so Bennett is booking it. He's going at like 8 meters combat round. He's doing a combat movement, so it's twice his normal movement. He doesn't have anything to speed him up like sprinting or. Oh no, he's got strength, so he's got sprinting, so he gets +1, so he moves at
Yep.
at 5 times 10, 2, so 10. So he moves 10 meters around. You guys are 80 meters away.
Okay.
So he'd be like running across in 8 minutes. Because remember, combat rounds about a minute.
All right. I'm
That's
gonna go
fine.
running. I'm gonna go running after Stu, just in case. I don't have sprinting. I have rugby. Does that do anything?
Now, okay, so they're around. All right, so initiative. Don't worry, you guys go first.
Okay.
So these guys are still attempting to get down, but you've still got a chance to fire at them again.
I'm the guy next to the head injury guy. I'm lighting him up.
Yep.
You said I needed a total 10 on the dice, no bonuses, right?
Yeah, just a total 10.
Okay, so that one is a miss. That was an 8.
What about his mate next to him? Because you've now adjusted fire to the left slightly. So.
His guy next to him. His guy next to him.
Come on, Captain, light us fire.
I see a 5. I see another 5.
All right.
I brought my lucky M240.
There you
Wounded.
go.
See what your wound is.
A 1, 6.
All righty. So
You mean a 6-1, right?
So you strike him in the head. You see a little splatter of blood from the head, and he falls down.
Top.
So there's just the one in between those two. So there was the guy in the vehicle who's now slumped or dropped down behind the engine block of the vehicle, so you won't be able to get him. And there's the guy in between them who's still up, and then there's the guy to his side who's off. So there's the guy in between who looks to his left, looks to his right. And his action this round is to drop behind the vehicle.
So he's doing the hokey pokey.
Yeah, he dropped behind it.
That's what it's all about.
It really is. Okay. In the effort to make as much noise as possible, I will chuck a grenade under the vehicle.
Oh, you beat me to it.
Shock! Oh.
That's too dark.
So do I have to roll for that or?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Roll to see if you hit the vehicle.
Well, you will hit somewhere approximately close to the vehicle.
Bounces the grenade off the window, lands back at his feet.
Oh, that is a natural 12.
12.
Yes.
Okay. So where
Dude, take that way down.
I'm sorry.
Sorry to any of our headphone users out there.
Okay, I took that down. I'm going to stop doing that now because it's just getting. I know I'm getting annoying. I do that. Sorry.
Well, that was very loud.
Oh, I thought the machine guns were you, Bill.
No.
No, that was all me. That was like my keyboard over here that has had some samples loaded up.
Excellent. All right. Yeah, where exactly do you want to place the fragmentation grenade?
Oh, let's say somewhere nearest the gas tank, if I could guess where that is.
Well, that'll be in the back.
You're trying to reenact the beginning scene, didn't you?
Right.
You're hoping that this is a Ford Pinto. All
You're
right,
starting
so
to get well. Sumawata likes this.
A tribute to her.
She should have
bring
been
it.
she
All
would
right,
have loved this.
roll for. Okay, so roll for damage against the vehicle, wounding against the vehicle. 1 and 6.
Okay, and that's the D66 again.
Yeah.
That is 54.
Okay, so it goes. So it goes boom, and there's a big puff of dust and smoke. The vehicle doesn't lift or anything. It's just a fragmentation grenade. And if the fuel tank is damaged, you can't see. It would just be dribbling out.
Okay.
It's not going to go up in a big lot of smoke unless you get a direct hit on it and it's half empty. If fuel is trickling out, if you want to go cinematic, Kyle, there is a lit cigarette lying on the ground somewhere. Well, I could have done that, but now that you've suggested it, Bill, it would just be too cliche.
Sorry.
So next time, don't
It
try
needs
to de-air.
fumes. The fuel doesn't do it. It's the fumes.
If we get in the car and plug in the cigarette lighter, how many rounds till it pops out and is ready?
Alrighty. So, but the fragmentation grenade does some damage to the poor bastard who was right next to the vehicle. So roll for damage against him. He takes 2 wounds.
Okay. First one is 1-5.
5, yeah. Okay, so he's got a minor concussion. Boom.
Second
and
one.
the actual fragmentation wound.
Oh, here we go. 61.
6-1. All right, yeah. So, he goes right down, and you could see even through your nods, you could see blood gushing out of his leg. He's probably going to bleed out unless somebody tourniquets him. So, yep.
Spoiler alert: no one's going to tourniquet him.
That's so mean.
Are so nice.
Is there has Stu reached the other unsuspecting poor soul that is about to get stewed up? Stewerized.
Alrighty. So so that was
It's going to be beef
rounds.
tonight.
Stu arrives 4 rounds later and
Meat's back on the menu, boys.
and finds everybody lying around dead or severely wounded.
Oh, I take the knife and I make sure that they're not going anywhere else.
Oh, yeet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to do? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you find the driver cowering behind the vehicle. The driver is not a local. He's very much Caucasian. He's got a minor wound in his arm and a minor wound in his head. The bullet just grazed him. And he's just cowering. And he's like,
I'll hamstring him.
Finish him off.
I'll hamstring him, and the captain might want to question him. We don't want him running off.
You'll have to open the door, reach in, grab his leg, and...
Yeah. And?
I yell at him in Russian. Don't make any sudden moves.
I realized that I didn't know Safi at all before this. Like, oh my god.
I'm in character, okay? This is
right,
Stu.
yeah,
I'm channeling Stu here.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I've heard this before. It's what my character would do.
Always so. Always so.
There's always one.
Yeah. All right. Roll for your wound against his leg because it might be minor, it might be severe.
All right.
Just 1d6 is enough.
Oh, just one? Okay.
Yeah. Because you're rolling to see if it's minor, severe, or
That's
minor,
a 6.
or 6. It's a minor wound. So you do a minor wound. Yeah. So now the guy's now got a minor wound in the right side of his head, his right arm, and his right leg. He's really had better days.
And I'll grab him by the scruff of the neck and pull him out and drag him over to the captain. And say, here you go. Question him. Here's your job. I didn't kill him. You should be proud of me.
Hang on a second. Hang on.
Cat?
Stu, that's like 6 rounds of having to drag this guy across open ground. I can't imagine the response from the house has been this muted so far.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll just drag him around to the other side and wait for the group to join me
You
then.
hear gunfire and shouting from the back of the compound.
Good. All right.
Nice.
Move forward, everybody. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm picking up the 240. We are moving into the building.
Okay.
Go,
who's
go,
going
go, go,
first?
go.
Fine, I'll take the brass knuckles and just knock them out. Say
Yeah.
we'll be back for him.
Breach.
We got a live one here to question later.
He's not going anywhere. Seven.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
If Stu would be so kind as to kick the door in, one of us could chuck in a flashbang.
All right, done.
I'll take your 6, Stapleton.
I'm picturing that moment with like Andre the Giant in Princess Bride. You know, it's like, oh.
Jogged his memory too hard.
Right.
Okay, Stu, give me an open doors check. So
All right. Is that 1 or 2?
So 2 dice,
Okay.
and you'll add +3 for your strength.
That is 12 plus
Okay, so
1.
So
So
you not
13.
only kick in the door across its hinges, you kick the door off its hinges, and it goes flat onto the ground.
Stu, smash!
There was this unfortunate fellow who was on the other side of the door who was just trying to peek through and see what was going on outside. And
One
so
down.
You've attacked him with the door. So roll for an injury against him.
Okay.
A D6 and D6.
1 and a 4.
1 and a 4. Okay, you give him a severe head wound as like 30 pounds of heavy wooden door go into his head.
McPherson's gonna look over at Stapleton and say, "Hey, man, does he look a little green to you? Am I gonna have to start issuing jaundice medication?"
We'll see. I'm completely oblivious to the dude behind the door, and I just chuck in the flashbang as soon as Stu kicks it.
Oh,
Because that was the
Yeah,
original
well, the
plan.
door.
'Cause I
so
don't
the
know
door
who's in
falls
there.
back. You don't know if the door's like not quite on the ground because there's a person under it, or because there's a stool behind, or whatever. But yeah, you could chuck the flashbang in.
It's a goat.
Yeah.
Flashbang is in.
Okay. Chuck
Boom.
it. Okay, so make a roll, and you just don't want to get like a stoppage or something.
Fifel, the doors were RPG proof. The hinges were kind of crap.
right.
They're not stew proof.
So
That
2d6
is a
different.
2. I rolled 2 ones. That's a stoppage. My flashbang's
Okay.
a dud.
You just
All right, so you toss in the flashbang, and you wait, and you wait,
Oh, God damn it.
and you just hear shouting in Tajik and Pamiri from inside.
McPherson will take out his flashbang and he'll go like in front of Stapleton and actually pull the pin and throw it in.
This is how you do it.
Dude,
Just in case you need a new lesson.
Right. It's been a while.
Kyle,
Since
I'm gonna
the,
yell in Pashto, the only malediction that my character knows, which he doesn't realize, just translates into, "Can I buy a SIM card for my iPhone in this airport, please?"
All right, Bill T, make your tossing in the flashbang.
okay, I got a 6 and a 4 for 10.
Okay, so it goes into the room,
Show
bounces
off.
off the other wall, boom, and it goes off.
Nice. All right. After you.
Thanks. And we move into the room and take out
All right, who goes
anybody
first?
looking sketchy.
He goes into the first.
I'll go in because I need to reclaim my pride after the grenade.
All right, so you step in, you step on the door. There's a little moan of pain. You see a foot and an arm sticking out from underneath the door.
I'm in behind him with the 240.
Okay. Who else is
Okay,
in
so
there?
you step on him.
Oh,
too.
I'm going in too, and I'm like stomping on the doors I go through.
All right.
Surfing Frankenstein.
Hey, Kyle, just
Yeah.
a quick question. I think I've made the action for a round, but is there Is there any way to take another look at the surroundings to make sure we're not being followed in? Anybody?
Well, that uses.
Or do I have to
up
wait
an
for
action.
next round for that?
Observation. Yeah, you have to wait for the next round.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so you just immediately see that ahead of you.
Okay.
Another guy down there. So yeah, you immediately see that ahead of you. There's a little bit of dust and smoke being kicked up. There's a couple of bits of furniture around, but nothing major. Just like there's a little table and a little table against the wall, and that obviously. Oh, this is where I put my car keys, whatever the Tajik equivalent is, Pamiri equivalent.
The goat
It goes,
leash.
yeah. All right. So the MVGs, they're actually nods. They're enhanced vision, so they don't. They're not thermal or whatever. They just enhance the ambient light. So if it's pitch black, then you still can't see anything. So you've got limited visibility. You can only see about 5 or 6 feet ahead, and it's all in, well, not black and white, but green.
All right.
Is there light coming from like the wide open doorway?
Well, like I said, you can't really see beyond there. You think you see like a little crack of light off to the far left of the image there, far lower left.
Okay. Just a quick spray in that general direction.
Okay. Blat. Make a roll. You're firing blind, basically.
So there's a wall in front of us, right?
Yeah.
I'm kicking through the wall, seeing if we can make our new entrance.
I was about to say there's a wall there until you get there.
Right. I think you got to go through Mr. Warren first, right?
You kick at the wall and you realize that it's the same material as the exterior, and so it's quite solid. Not even you can kick through it. It would require explosives.
Only a 4.
So they actually did some quality work here.
A little bit.
Wow. Color me surprised.
Yeah.
Okay.
I failed.
So you put a spray down there. You don't hear any cries of pain. You do hear lots of shouting and shooting on the other side, though, on the northern side of the building.
Do we have a glow stick we can throw it on there after we light it up?
Crack it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. Why is it?
And there's another door.
Yep, so there's a little doorway through, and that door appears to be closed, but there's a little crack of light coming through it, like obviously around the edges of the hinges and all the rest.
I'll pass a flashbang up to Stapleton and whisper to him, "You pull the little cutter."
Yeah. Okay.
I look at him and say, "Okay, are you ready for this? Repeat."
Yeah, I am ready for this. Pull the pin out first.
All right, kicking the door in.
Pin.
All right.
Chuck.
Make your kicking in door check. 2d6 plus your 3 strength.
Well, I wait until she kicks the door in first.
5 and a 6, so 11 plus 1.
Okay, so you kick this door right open. There's nobody immediately behind this door either. It goes off to the so it opens up to the left there, and it flings right open. Revealed a room beyond. Oh, that's not what I wanted.
Oh, this one stays connected this time?
Yeah.
It's the new addition to the house. They had to take down a HELOC to get that door.
Yeah, so I briefly see the kind of wall and I chuck it toward the right. Or I thought I saw the wall. There it is. Nope.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just struggling using this freaking paint here. Their construction's better than my drawing.
I doubt that, really.
All right. So
Savo's got the right idea. Then the rear door runs away in terror.
That's all you did to my fellows. Oh.
alrighty. This is some sort of kitchen in here. In this corner over here is some sort of is like an oven, and there's a wooden table there with a couple little chairs there, and there's obviously pantry and some bags.
I'm gonna look to see if there's like food out. If there is, I'm gonna grab it and start munching.
During a firefight, eat. Yeah, is there anything
You never
cooking,
know
Kyle?
when you're gonna need it.
You gotta
There's
keep
a,
your
there's a
arms
plate
up.
of
water.
there's a plate of figs and soft cheese.
All right,
Is there
I'll grab the
anything-
cheese and say, "Are we ready for the next door?"
Yeah, okay.
Is there a kettle on, Kyle? By chance?
Tea?
Really?
Well, like I said, there's a stove, but it's not going.
Nice.
So I finished stuffing the cheese in my mouth, and as I'm chewing, I look at him and make sure that he's got the pin ready, give him the thumbs up, and then I'll kick the door.
I'm holding on to it. Yeah, I'm like,
You're getting a prescription
let's
for
do it.
worms later there, Stu.
What's happening in the north of the?
it's just more
Hey.
protein.
If it's needed, you can
All
give
right,
me the
Bill.
shot.
Bill, give me
Yeah.
a 2d6 roll, and Safi, give me a 2d6 roll. You're
All right.
rolling for how well the enemy and the DKP guys are going, and I won't tell you who's rolling for who.
Okay.
All right.
Oh my gosh, 11 plus 1, 12.
I got a total of 3.
My dice are hot today.
Bill was rolling for the DKP guys.
Oh shit.
Sorry.
Oh,
and
no.
Safi was rolling for them. All right. So you hear a couple of big explosions and machine gun bursts.
Oof.
Lots of cries of pain.
So we really were the actual attacking force, and they were the distraction.
Alrighty. So yeah, you've now come to this this new door.
All right.
Same as
Kick it
before.
open.
All right. So, did I kick the door in, or do I need to yet?
Yeah, you can if you want. Yeah.
Yeah. Dang straight.
Still chewing on your cheese.
That's a 8.
8. Okay. So you kick at the door. It does not open.
I'm kicking again.
Okay.
Brute force doesn't work. Use
Use
more.
Use
That's my motto.
Remember to add 3 for your.
Oh, 3. Okay. So I actually only added 1, so that would have been 2 more.
So yeah, you would have opened it because you need 10.
Okay.
Plus.
All right.
10 plus. It's always success. Yeah. So remember, so familiarity is +1. but
Oh yeah, I was
expertise
just
is
grabbing the
+3.
the S. So okay.
Expertise is +3, and so you have strength expertise. That means
Yep.
you've got power. You've done powerlifting. You've done weightlifting. You've done strongman training. You've done sprinting. You've done it all. So you could do all that stuff. You're just good at strength stuff. You know, you're like a wrestler or something. And in fact, the character whose image we're using is actually a wrestler. A British guy called Stu Bennett or Wade Bennett, who's
I'm a decathlon
wrestled in
athlete.
WF.
Hey Bennett, let off some steam.
Alrighty. So you kick in the door. Did I do it right?
Savo.
I know, right? It sounds like
Savo, we have got to get you on the live stream one day.
So I have it also the YouTube on a tablet over here. I'm just checking every once in a while. Wow. Is it possible to get demonetized from chat?
It depends.
Ooh, another door. Yes. Yay, me. It's my lucky day.
Oh, so excellent.
If there's something I could mention real quick, just about things in the chat, because this came up the other night, things left in the chat, like if somebody sees something in the chat they don't like, they can report it, and then it washes back on me as a YouTube creator. So yeah, you can create real problems for YouTube creators. So if I see anyone out there, I mean, obviously tonight, because we've done nothing but talk about acts of violence and so on and etc., but it's in good fun. But if I see anybody posting genuinely offensive crap in the chat, I will kick and ban out of the chat. We actually, that came up.
That's it, Safi, you're gone.
Last week.
I'm in character, dang it! Is this not something Stu would do? Really?
All right. All right. So you kick in the door to there. There are 2 guys in this room.
Yes, we finally got something for the flashbang to work on.
Now I throw the flashbang in.
Right.
Did he remember to pull the pin this time?
Yeah, yes, I remember to pull the pin this time. And I pull the pin, I throw the flashbang in, and I look at Stu as like, when's the last time you talked to your mom?
I have a mom.
Oh!
I thought I came from the earth.
Stu, did you keep the basket that they dropped you at the front door of the orphanage in? Just out of curiosity.
Stu, you didn't.
Oh, is that what that was?
Stu, you didn't come from the earth. I told you you were as dumb as a rock.
Isn't that what comes from the earth?
Stu ate the basket.
Okay, make the roll. Make the roll.
Stu ate the basket.
Stu, which ox were you born from? That's my question.
The blue one.
I'd be a 9. That's a 9.
Okay, so that's a miss. So roll 1d6 for the direction.
1.
1. Okay, so it goes more towards that northern door. And roll 1d6 for how many meters?
5.
5. Okay, so you throw in the flashbang, and it bounces off the ground, and it goes through the open door and into the further room, where it then detonates.
Big shot.
You may have just flashbanged some of some other guys.
Some of Saeed's team. It might explain why Saeed's team's having a hard time.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I look at him and say, do I need to kick it in now? Come on. First you don't pull the pin, and then you like virtually drop it. Come on. We're sending you back to the range for practice, dude.
Are you kidding me?
Okay. So there's those 2 guys in there, and neither has long arms, but both have pistols, and they raise their pistols to fire them at you. They duck behind a table and they raise their pistols to fire at you.
I raise my M240 to fire at them.
Initiative.
It's D6 or 2?
D6 plus your readiness.
8.
Just out of the back, you hear, make sure to PID your targets.
I rolled a total of 8, Kyle.
Okay. That's pretty good.
All right, if we were playing pool, that'd be an awesome shot. Come on.
Okay.
Daka.
Yeah.
Well said.
So you got one more Caucasian-looking guy, and with a mustache, and you've got a local.
I think local deserves all of my attention because we could really use a little bit of information. So 7 is a miss.
You think the locals are ignorant? That's just racist, man. What'd you get?
I got a 7, but then I might have.
You might have
brassed up.
hit his mate. Yes.
Yeah. 7 and a 6, and the next shot is cocked.
7 and a 6. How could you have got a 7 and a 6?
I got a 7 on the first and a 6 on the second.
Combined.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now
You've been drinking
remember
that stew juice there, Kyle?
because
You broke into your headache pills.
yeah, because you got 2 readiness, you get 2 shots in 2 actions anyway.
Okay.
So this is just an extra. It's not an extra action. When you're firing automatic, anyone who's immediately adjacent, whoever you are firing at, you might hit. The same's true of regular firing. If you miss your initial target, you might hit anyone immediately adjacent to them, but that's only if you miss. Whereas with automatic fire, even if you hit, you still might hit someone immediately adjacent to them. So the case with single shot fire is that, like guy with a hostage sort of situation, and the case with auto fire is actually meant to spray around a bit. So automatic fire machine guns have what's called a beaten zone. There's a sort of oval or circle shape where most of the rounds will land, and the idea is to sort of deny that area to the enemy. So yeah, you fire auto, you get a bonus to hit, but that at the cost of going through a lot of rounds more quickly, getting more stoppages and stuff.
So
so you missed them both, but your second action.
Second is so I missed with the first one and the beaten zone, as it were. And let's see. Oh, there's a 5, and there's a 6. So I got him on the carom, and the 3-1.
3-1. Okay. Right. So you strike him in the arm. All right. They are otherwise intact. Now they fire back. All right. So the local fires at you.
Click. Me? What did I do?
It goes click. He's got a stoppage. So he's got another action, but he'll spend that clearing his stoppage.
As well he should.
Foreigner fires at you. Oh, that's 2 hits.
Oof.
Oh,
ouch.
Okay, so the first one is the 3
Good thing we have armor on.
You've got a severe wound on your right arm, and the armor does not protect you there because you've just got it on your trunk.
Okay.
The second one is 5-2. You've got a severe wound on your right leg. So you're going to go down. You're like -4 to all actions and screaming and bleeding.
so who's right behind our dear leader? Is that Stu?
Well, it would have to be
probably.
Stu.
Yeah.
It's got to be Stu.
I'm going in.
Tried to kick in the door.
Yeah.
I'm going in. I'm doing the Stu move.
All right. Next round, initiative. Roll 1d6 there, Safi.
Okay. That's a 4 plus the readiness of 1, so 5.
5. Okay.
I thought you had readiness too.
So you're tied. Actions are simultaneous.
Uh-oh.
Now, the simultaneous can be resolved with some. So, melee and brawling combat ties are resolved in reverse order of weapon size. So the bigger weapon goes first. What hand weapon are you carrying?
Well, whatever handgun I had or whatever the biggest weapon I had.
Yeah. Well, because you can shoot them or you can melee with them. What are you going to do?
I'm going to shoot on my way to get to him, and then I'll switch to melee.
Okay, so yeah, it's a ranged combat. Well, you're either going to stand and shoot, or shoot and you've got 2 actions. So you can shoot and move and shoot, or shoot and shoot, or move and move.
I'll shoot and move.
Or move and melee or whatever. Because they're within 6 meters, so you can just like step
Yeah,
in
I'll
the
shoot in
downwind.
melee.
Shoot melee. Okay. All right. So
I'm an equal
they
opportunity butt
no, they
kicker.
go first because they've got handguns against your M4. Okay. So the local misses. The European guy gets a stoppage, and we'll clear it. Okay, so now it's your turn.
So shooting first.
Yep.
That's a 3 and a 5.
Okay. Plus, what's your skill? You've got fire, handgun. Oh, sorry, you don't have it. You don't have assault rifle, so it's +0.
No.
Yep. So you'll miss.
Okay, and then
Okay.
melee.
And you step in melee, and you can.
Yep, this is where my strength bonus comes in, I think. Am I
Well,
brawling?
you brawl. You either brawl. Yeah, you're brawling, so you get +3.
Okay. So I got a 3 and a 4.
3 and 4 +3, so 10. So yeah, you'll hit him. So roll for the wounding effect. Which one
Okay.
are you having a go at?
I'm going to go after the European first.
Yep.
1 and a 6.
Okay, so you punch him in the head, do a minor wound to his head. So he's rocked, but he's still up. Next round. Who's behind Stu? Bearing in mind that if you fire at this group meleeing, that you might get Stu as well.
I believe I was behind Stu. Kick door, threw grenade.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you can roll initiative this time.
Okay.
Or maybe, well, let's let Stu roll it because it's going to be most important to Stu.
Yeah.
All right.
That is a 4 plus 1. 5.
Okay, they go first. All right, so they've cleared the stoppage and that. All right, so the local guy is going to try to shoot you, Stu. And he gets another stoppage.
The terror of the stew.
And, the European didn't like being hit in the head, and he's going to try to shoot you, Stu, and he hits. Oh, 5-5. It's just a minor wound on your right leg. So you're there wrestling away and shoots you in the leg.
I grunt.
Okay, now it's your turn.
I wail on the European guy.
Okay, wail away. So you get 2 goes.
Yep.
You got 2.
Now Stu's annoyed.
So I'm rolling to hit him.
Yep. 10 plus.
That
Roll 2d6 plus 3.
Yep,
You've got
that
minus
is
1
13.
now. You got.
Okay, 12.
It doesn't matter, but you got -1 now because of your wound.
So that's 12 with the -1.
Yep. All right. So you hit him. Roll for damage.
Okay. That's a 2 and a 5.
Okay. So yeah, you punch him in the guts. Minor wound in the guts.
Okay. I'll go after him again.
Wow, this European guy is having it out. Oof.
And that's
Yeah.
11 with my -1.
Yeah.
Having a bad day.
Okay. You hit him. So roll for wounding.
1 and a 4.
Oh, punch him in the head. Severe wound.
Done.
Boom.
We want him to be able to talk.
He
We
falls-
got the one out at the car.
He falls out. He falls down. He falls down. He's out. He's knocked out. All right. So there's just the local guy who's spending the rest of the
Okay.
round
I'm-
clearing
I'm-
the stoppage.
I move in and just shoot the local dude.
Yep. Okay.
When Stapleton moves from, oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're following through. Yep.
That is an 8 altogether.
Okay. So, yep, you'll miss him. That means you might hit anyone who's adjacent to him, which in this case is Stu. Roll to hit against Stu as well.
Don't you dare. 9.
Oh, you just missed, Stu. It's
We're
the
gonna
old
have a
firing
talk
into
later.
melee.
We're gonna have
Firing
a
into
talk
melee.
later.
Bang, bang. So, Stu, the
Stop
rounds
moving.
fling past you and fling off the mortar in the wall next to you. Alrighty,
It doesn't phase Stu. It
I think
just keeps going.
McPherson is going to grab Warren Brown and move him back to the cleared room for assessment.
Yep. Because
And
people
drag
have
him
been
back.
having to he's lying in the doorway bleeding. So people
Right.
have been having to. He could have been firing. He's severely wounded, but he would have been firing at -4. So
Yeah.
lying on the ground, firing an automatic weapon at -4. It's
Oh, that'll end well for Stu.
Okay. Initiative.
All right. 4 plus my bonus.
Yep. What's your bonus? Oh, so your bonus is 2. So that's 6. So the local guy goes first. The local guys, in fact. So one of the guys from the next room, one of the locals, pokes his head in, and he's just looking around to see what's happening. He's got a long arm in his hand, but he's not doing anything. He's just poking his head in to see what on earth is going on in this room. And you can still hear firing and screaming from the northern side as well. Okay, so so he's just poking in. The local guy behind the table next to the European, he's going to fire on who's in the doorway. Oh no, there's Stu right next to him. He'll fire on him. Oh fuck me! 2-2.
Oh no!
This guy should have maintained his weapon better.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, and that's all his reloads. He only had 3 magazines, so it's all gone now. He'll have to melee if he wants to do anything else now. So he'll be like, drop that and reconsidering his life choices.
How big is this table? How big is this table?
Oh, it's just a small table. It's a small one.
Oh, I'm taking the table and I'm gonna swing with it.
That's brawling, improvised weapons. Okay, pick it up, swing it at him.
All right.
But
I got
picking it up will be
brawling,
one
so I
action.
do have a
Ready-
bonus on that
readying
too.
the weapon. You just get one go because picking it up is one action, and then
All right.
wailing on him with it is another action.
And I'll kind of use it as a shield if that other guy decides in the doorway to go after. All right. So that is 9 plus
Plus
2.
your brawling. No, it's plus
minus
3
1.
for your brawling. No, so it's plus 3 for your brawling.
Okay.
Plus another 1 for having some sort of improvised weapon, so it's plus 4. And you got
Okay.
minus 1 for your wound, so it's a net plus 3.
Okay.
So yeah, you more than hit him. Okay, so wounding.
All right. 1 and a 4.
1, 4. Okay. So you take the table, you turn it, and you take him underneath the chin, and you hear a snap. The table snaps, and so does his chin, and he falls back onto the ground. Arms asplay, arms askew, and he's down. Right.
So look at the guy in the doorway.
Yeah, I'll
Guy
take
in
a
the
shot at the
The
guy in the doorway. Like, hey, nosy, we're busy. Go away.
All right. Yep. Take a shot.
That
at him.
is 9. That's a 9.
That's with your weapon expertise and all that.
Yeah, it's just I just have familiarity, so it's only a +1. So I rolled an 8,
okay.
got a 9.
Okay. Right, there's nobody standing next to him, so you don't have to worry about hitting anyone else, or be happy about hitting anyone else. All right, so there's that. Okay, next round. Initiative.
Should I roll?
Yeah, why not?
I was going to say if I'm not impacted, I can, but
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, but you'll be rolling at -4 because of your wound.
exactly. Okay, so it
Oh,
impacts
okay. All right.
somebody else.
So, yeah, we should. What we should do is something.
Yeah.
Okay. 5 + 2, 7.
Okay, you guys go first.
All right.
All right, there are currently 2 of you in the room. All right, so you've got. No, that's not what I want. So you've got another couple of guys down. They're actually unconscious, but so let's.
I'm taking the table and I'm smashing. Worked well for the last one.
Okay.
Well,
I'm
the
going.
table's wrecked now.
Oh, the
Wasn't
table's
designed
wrecked.
as a weapon, so it's a bit. It's a bit.
Well, if there's a leg yet, I'll grab the leg.
All right. So there's that guy in the doorway. So yeah. So there's Bennett's in the room and Stapleton's in the room, and Brown is behind, and then McPherson is dragging Brown out and assessing him, which is going to take a while.
Yeah. I'm going to take another shot. Guy in the doorway.
Yeah. So do an assessment check there, McPherson.
All right. 2d6 is going to be a total of 9 right off the dice, and then
Plus your position.
character.
Yeah. It's a severe wound. It's not mortal. He's not going to die for at least. He's not going to die for at least. What's your health, Warren Brown?
My health is 2.
2. Okay, so he's not going to die for at least 11 hours.
Okay.
You don't think
Does he need a splint or something to get back in the fight?
He can't get back in the fight. He can't walk. He's severely wounded. The rounders tore a big chunk out of his leg, so he can't walk on it. He can lie down and shoot.
All right.
Lie down forwards or back on his back and shoot, but he can't get up and walk around, except very slowly. So it's -4, and your normal movement speed, unless you've got any modifiers due to encumbrance or whatever, is 4. So he can't, he just can't
move. Okay. All right.
Without assistance. You could drag him around and you can, if you're doing a fighting retreat or something, but.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna give right off the bat. I'm gonna give him some morphine, and I will, I guess, stuff his wounds.
Yeah. You just
try and stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
Look at the pretty lights.
Right. You're gonna like this stuff, Warren. Don't worry. I only pack the best. As the plunger goes down.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys in the room, Stu and Stapleton, what are you guys doing?
Aiming. Is aiming an action, or does that take a whole round?
That's an action. Yeah, that's one of your 2 actions.
Okay. So I've written as 2. So there's 2 actions. I want to aim and then fire.
Okay. Just gives you a +1.
Okay. So I'll get a +2 then. Which does nothing for me because it winds up being an 8. I am not having a good day.
Yeah. Aiming, the aiming just generally helps with ambushing or sniping. The sniping's just long distance ambush, really.
Yeah. Bless you, Will.
Because just in terms of statistics and reality, you're better off just going blat, 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 putting a lot of rounds in their general direction.
Okay.
You got a better chance of hitting something.
All right.
Along the way
Even though fire has a
Or
quality.
stew.
I am not
Uh, uh,
aiming at Stu.
As Stalin said, quantity has a quality all of its own. So yeah, unless you're ambushing, then yeah, take your time and get all the modifiers and all the rest.
All right.
Okay, Stu.
Well, since he's firing, I'm going to just take my weapon and just start to fire too, because I don't want to be in the middle of that, because he's not been real reliable.
Yeah, don't forget you've got your grenades too.
I've had an off day. Anyone can have an off day.
I have grenades. Hmm.
Yeah, you all have 2 smoke, 2 flashbang,
Oh, that's right.
2 fragmentation grenades. But remember that the Prevention Bureau guys will be in the next room too.
Yeah, fine. I'll just fire.
Okay.
All right. So
With your
fire
handgun
away.
or your M4? Your handgun
My
or-
handgun.
Okay. You get a +1.
Yep. So that is 8.
Mm-hmm. And
And
you get
then-
a +1 for having a handgun, so that's 9. So you just miss. Fire again.
All right. And that's 11.
Awesome. You hit. Roll for damage or you're wounding.
All right. 2 and a 6.
Okay. So you hit him on the trunk, shoot him in the guts. He goes down. He goes down, but he's screaming. So no,
Cool.
he is not kaput. He's screaming. Okay, so beyond you see a lot of flicker of lights moving around. The Prevention Bureau guys had lights at the end of their rifles, which they didn't use as they were approaching the building, but once they went in, they obviously used it because they didn't have NVGs. But yeah, you see lights flickering around and you hear shouting and all the rest. And you glance through, you see a couple of guys on their knees with their hands behind their heads, like that.
Guy in the doorway that went down that I shot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick him out unconscious.
Finishing the job.
Finish
All right.
him.
Get
We've no
over
need
here.
to. We've
Thanks
no
for
need
hanging
to
out
roll.
with us, Feifel. Be in the funny papers.
Okay, make a roll. You don't have to roll to hit because he's helpless
All
lying
right.
on the ground, but you do have to roll for wounding.
2 and a 5.
2 and a 5. Yep. So yeah, you kick him in the guts, and again the second go.
Okay. 1 and a 6.
Okay, and then you kick him in the head for good measure.
Oh,
He's definitely unconscious.
Okay.
Let's make sure.
Yeah.
I think
Alrighty.
if Warren is now treated, I think I'm gonna go and zip tie the I guess unconscious European looking guy.
Yep.
Because the other one's dead in that room, right?
No.
The local was
No,
dead.
he's
No,
unconscious.
he's not.
Oh,
He's just
okay. Well
unconscious.
then, all right. Then I guess I'm gonna zip tie both of them for my
Okay.
2 actions.
Saeed calls out to you guys, friendly coming through, and you see the lights flickering around of at the end of his MP5.
I go back to where
kitchen.
our medic is going, and I say, "Yeah, you want to take care of this? Just wrap it up. It's annoying."
I look into my pouch and I find like a 1x3 band-aid and just kind of put it over one of his like, here you go, Stu. There you go.
I look at it and
Alrighty.
say,
So
"Is there
you
duckies on it?"
I made sure to get the ducky ones, just like you asked.
All right.
alrighty. So yeah, so the wrap up of it is that there were 5. So you meet up with Saeed. recovered. Those guys recovered. They did worse than they should have. They lost 3 of their guys.
Yikes.
3 of their 7 guys. But they dealt with the guards and all the rest. 3 of the 5 locals who were at this meeting are deceased. 2 of them are alive, including the one that you captured. And there's this other guy who you're pretty sure is Russian. And he's still around. I'm just going to take notes on this so I remember, because the next game likely won't be till next year.
Yes, that is something Kyle mentions. We will be adjourning until after the holidays. So after the holidays here. So you folks out there who've enjoyed this, please come back. We will be doing more, but
Yes. Gotta love it.
Your next episode of the Stew Vision.
yeah.
It's like the A Team, just with a bit more adult humor involved. I hope I didn't insult you too bad when I pulled the pin on the grenade.
Shut up.
I'm sorry. I just that door.
No, that was
open.
brilliant.
I had to walk that one back in.
Character Stapleton's pissed. Jason is just applauding the brilliance of the narrative.
Awesome.
Alrighty. Yeah. So, like I said, 3 of the DKB Prevention Bureau guys were killed. All of the local guys were killed except for the driver outside bled out. There's a guy, a Russian guy called Igor, and then there's Azmad and Ilal, who you've captured. They're some of the mid-ranking leaders. They were having a meeting here tonight. They'll be interrogated at a later point in time. You yourselves have got some wounds to deal with. The minor wounds I'm not concerned with, but the severe wound that somebody got, we're going to have to see how long he takes to get better.
Yep.
So he will be treated by physicians in a good hospital, but he could always get unlucky and it could become mortal. So, Bill T, you can roll for Warren Brown's doctor.
Oh,
man, I gotta roll. Oh, Bill,
Might need another NPC, huh?
I got my
Alright,
fingers and my toes crossed for you, Mr. Sylvie.
It is what it is.
Position 3, it's a fully equipped place. That's another +3. That makes it +6. And they will also have nurses and so on supporting, so it's another +1. It becomes +7, and you only need 10. So if you roll, and but there could be a stoppage, as they call it, which means they run out of gear. They just run out of gauze in the middle of this operation or whatever, and
Means Brown would be
it's
stopping.
too late. They don't have enough blood to transfusion him because he's in the wrong blood type or something like that. They just run out of
The
things.
clamp gets stuck.
The plus he doesn't have just hours to fly to a hospital in Germany, so he has to go to the Das Kapital hospital. And that's only in acceptable condition, the gear there. It's not in new condition. So a 4 or less on a raw dice roll, and his severe wounds will become mortal. Otherwise, his severe wounds will be treated, and then he's going to recover in 2d6 plus his health, 2d6 minus his health weeks.
I just got a 9.
9. Awesome. Okay, so Bill S, you can roll for your character 2d6 and then subtract your health. Minimum 1 week for you to recover from your severe wound to minor.
Okay. All right. I got a total of 6, so 4 weeks.
4 weeks. All right. So yeah, he'll be recovered by the new year.
Nice. Now, if I could just get you to sign this medical waiver here.
I will do no such thing.
He'll be
I'm
billed
not sure
for
if he's
deductible.
capable of signing anything. So, all right. So Warren Brown is going to be recovered on the 14th of January, and Sumawada is going to be recovered on the 20th of February. So yeah. Well, I mean, they'll both still have minor wounds, but they'll be recovered in a week or two. They can limp around or sort of, just blink through their tears of pain. But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so that wraps that one up.
Warren, you sure you don't want any of this migraine medicine while you're resting up, man? It's really good.
I'm fine. Thank you.
And we'll put the intro credits just to remind people of all the suffering that they've gone through.
You know what, Mikey? I predict this is gonna end in some big gunfight. A lot of bloodshed. You and me stuck in the middle. As always.
Well, what we
And we're back, guys. Thank you, Kyle, for the excellent opening and closing credits. Thank you to everybody for being here this evening. I'll be back tomorrow. I think I'm going to move in on Bill T's turf a little bit, I think, and paint up a Christmas miniature for you guys on stream tomorrow. That'll be at some point in the night. But until then, of course, thank you all so very, very much for being here this evening. Thank you to my co-host Kyle. Thank you to everybody out there in audience land. And until then, be good to each other and do keep your eyes peeled for the owl bears. Good night.
Night, peeps.
Have you seen my owl bear?
Good night.
Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Make it as a toad all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to